This is More Than Reality podcast, where we dive into all things faith, family, and marriage and share that there is so much more than the reality that you see on the surface. Welcome to More Than Reality with Adam and Danielle Busby.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
This is More Than Reality podcast with Adam and Danielle Busby. This is episode 58.
Man, we are just getting up there.
We're getting up there. We've
kind of like your age. Oh.
I'm not even in my 50s.
I'm just joking. It just felt like it fit right. Haha, I'm funny. Cracking jokes.
So this week I've been, I don't know, like I feel like I've been like off my game like the last 2 days. I've been like kind of flustered and like in this like weird funk because Danielle's been away.
Oh, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Just parenting, travel, how do you parent?
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to take a little break and shout out to our sponsor, and it's Poncho Outdoors. And for every man who doesn't ask for much but deserves a lot, this is what you want to get them this holiday season, because we love us some Poncho Outdoors. And
get them Poncho.
If you are actually watching this on YouTube right now, you can actually see what Adam has on right now. And actually, he has a nickname, Poncho, because he actually wears poncho all the time. And so we're actually very grateful for Poncho sponsoring this podcast, because Adam's been wearing poncho literally like all the time these days. Yeah. So thank you, Poncho, for sponsoring us, because Adam actually has been wearing poncho for months and months and months.
Yeah, I think anytime we have a date night or like a friend get together, I'm in poncho.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, Poncho, because that's now his nickname instead of Buzz.
Today I'm wearing the corduroy.
Yeah, I like this one. It's a good winter fit.
And it's like a really soft corduroy. It's actually, it's funny, they name all of their shirts. And so this one, it's like a black, but they call it the Dusty Burrow.
Yeah, I like it.
Corduroy.
With pearl snaps.
Yeah, I love it. Super comfortable. It's like the slim fit.
Yeah, it's corduroy, but I feel like it has like that, like a soft suede feel on it.
Yeah.
But it's corduroy, so it feels nice.
Yeah, it's like
feels
a real
nice.
It's like a real tight weave corduroy, not like the real wide weave.
But it's great for the holiday season too, because they have like the flannels. They also have like polos too, and so. But I would say most of the time I like when you wear like these button ups, because obviously. You made a comment.
You freaking steal them.
I know. And funny story today is that I actually went in your closet and I was like, where's that green one he wore the other day? So I love those button-up ponchos, because I like to like throw them on. You know, it's like you want to wear like, it's like that thing like, oh, your boyfriend or your husband's shirt. Yeah. Like I love those button-up things. Yeah. No, I want the button-up poncho shirt. Be sure to check out ponchooutdoors.com. And if you use code MORETHAN, you can get $10 off plus free shipping. Make sure.
Yeah, we actually have a landing page. It's www.ponchooutdoors.com/morethan.
Yeah, and that's PONCHO outdoors.com/morethan.
Yep.
Just in case you didn't know how to spell Poncho.
And so everything on Poncho, it's like guaranteed free shipping and free returns, free exchanges to make sure you have the absolute right fit. And Poncho stands by every shirt. If it's not his favorite, they'll make it right.
Yeah. Get the fit, ladies, for that husband or that man, because guess what? They look good in it. So be sure to visit ponchooutdoors.com/morethan, $10 off with free shipping. So make sure to get that for their husband's holiday season.
All right. Thanks, Poncho. I mean, like the last, you left on last Thursday?
I don't know. Thursday, yeah.
I think it was Thursday. So from like Thursday through Monday, Danielle was away on a friend's trip. One of her best friend from Louisiana, Katie, was Katie's 40th birthday. And so they took a girls' trip down to Playa Mujeres, Mexico. But it was just like solo parenting from like Thursday all the way through Monday, and it like disrupts like my normal routine of like, going to the office, getting stuff done, like, and, just different things going on in the day. And it like, I don't know, just like whenever I'm pulled off of my like normal routine, I swear it takes me a good week to get back on it. And I just feel like off.
Well, this is what we're going to talk. We're going to talk about this today. Parenting, like when there's travel involved, when we're together on a trip and when one or the other is going on a trip. So I feel like we get a lot of these questions because we do travel a lot, whether it's for work or for just play or break time or marriage or like just getaways. And we do take family trips too as well. But today we're going to talk about how we deal with things when the parents are out of the house and kids are at home, when both parents are out or one parent is out and the other parent's at home. And Adam started off with, he gets off of his routine. And I think it's interesting because you don't do well with any form of change, and you don't do well with adjusting, even though you've been well prepared for this probably about 5 months in advance. You haven't prepared for being adjusted to 5 days by yourself. You just get in a routine and don't know how to adjust. And I am the opposite. I can get thrown something and just be like, YOLO, like just do it, adjust. Like I can roll like that.
But also like in the middle of that, like just some weird stuff happened, like work wise. And like I had some issues with like storage devices and stuff with like media storage. And so that also like further disrupted my stuff, so that like during the day I was like spent like trying to do like data recovery stuff, which is completely outside of like what I normally do. And so it's like that plus that, it was just like,
yeah, it
was like the perfect storm.
But we've always been like that. I can bounce, and you just like, you get like, if there's something that's changing in your rhythm, you get like bundled and you just like start stressing and like, and you don't move because you're like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You're waiting for me to make a change or make a decision, but I'm not there. So then you're left with like, what do I do? But that's interesting how, we've talked about this a lot. Like we're so opposite in all the things, but that's kind of how we balance each other out in the oppositeness.
Is that a word?
That's why I did this. So let's start from the top, like traveling. We get hit a lot let's just talk about traveling together first, okay? So why do we travel together?
Because, typically, like, we have multiple, like, businesses and stuff. Our personal, like, brand is, like, us for the most part. And so, like, a lot of stuff that we do, it's whether it's, like, outreach, working with brands, working with organizations, fundraising type stuff, podcast stuff or whatever. We work together. And so, we have to travel together for work, but also, like, if we want to just go do something, we are married.
Come on.
We get to go have fun sometimes. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's work, sometimes it's both.
Yeah. I would say even before marriage, Adam and I always loved to just like go and do things and travel. I used to travel a lot for my previous job, like around the world, which gave me a joy of adventure and seeing the world and seeing different cultures and seeing what else is around. I didn't grow up being able to, tour the States. We didn't have money, so we didn't go on vacations. We'd go to Houston and maybe Florida every once in a while, but to like a real beach. But I didn't grow up going on vacations. And so when I had the opportunity, like as an adult, and like go to places, especially within like a career in a business, like it became such a joy to be like, whoa, like there's so much, like so many different things around. And it just made me enjoy and see the world differently, right? And so whenever we got married and he would like meet me on trips or we start to like travel together, it just was fun. Like you get to experience things and see things together. And then when we started to have Blake, and then I still had to, I went back to work and that still happened. And then when I'm speeding all this up, then we had Quince and the TV show, and obviously life changed for quite a while, but our traveling changed quite drastically, but we still had to.
It was like a cough and a hiccup at the same time.
But we still had to.
If you do that, time that weird, you die. I think I heard that.
What? If you cough and hiccup?
Or sneeze and
that's not real.
Sneeze and hiccup. That's what I was told when I was in school. If you do those two at the same time, you die.
Okay.
So I've always been scared of it. You know what's the most terrifying thing is sneezing while you're driving.
Squirrel.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's
Terrifying.
because you hold it in and then you snot everywhere.
Because I can't sneeze without closing my eyes.
Okay, squirrel. But we found, especially in this season of being a family of 8 TV show, all the things that we were kind of like, wow, we're just in this 24-hour period of like Groundhog Day, repeat. So we would find like a night away, like staycations, like one night away. And it was just like we just had to do it because like it was like, hey.
Yeah, because it wasn't just us like managing, baby Quince and Blake. It was managing baby Quince and Blake and filming a TV show.
Like all life was new all around.
Like 5 to 6 days a week sometimes. And so you just need that like break, that release to like, so we would plan, once a month we would, once a week we would have like a date night. And then once every quarter we would try at the very least like a little staycation.
Yeah, like a weekend away.
Like just a weekend away. Like even if it's just like up in the city, just like get a hotel room, like just spend a couple days in the city just to like,
yeah.
reset.
And I mean, thankfully we were very blessed with people in our lives that came into our lives, because when you have quintuplet babies and toddlers, it took a lot of people to be able to do this so that we could have a night or two away. And it was very hard. So those days, it was a lot of prep to leave. You're almost thinking, is this even worth it to leave for the amount of prep it takes just to get away for one night? But it really was, because you almost go through this phase of like, you kind of forget who you are and where it all began. And there's phases of that, but it's always meaningful, and you need to be reminded that that's where it all began. And that's what you need to remember. So even in the midst of the craziness, you just have to be reminded and constantly say, we have to make a point. And so, whether it is once a week, once a month, once a quarter where we could have a staycation, it took, I wish I could pull up my schedule and show you. It was color coded. It was lining up, 2 to 3 people a day on a schedule, like having 2 people at a time, who was going to stay overnight, who was going to help. I always had 2 people a day, rotating shifts. It literally was a madhouse. And then, getting all the bottles and the formula and the milk and the however old they were, and then the food lined up, prepping what meals were going to be made, all the clothes and like all the things. And especially when they were in the bottle feeding phase, every 3 hours, and this is what they needed. It was literally 6 different schedules, and every baby had their own schedule. And it was like, if Deb came in, Deb would do these 2, and if Lee came in, Lee would do these. If Kathy came in, she would handle these, and then it would switch, and then she would take over these. It literally was insane, and very thankful that these people came back and they still are involved in our lives today. But it was important, and they knew it was important. Yeah. They knew it was important for us to be able to get away, and they wanted that for us too. And so they knew marriage was important, and they knew that we needed to have a moment rekindle and to reconnect. And that was of value for us to remember the marriage and do that. And so ultra thankful for people in our lives that wanted to remind us that, hey, y'all need to get away. You tell us what we need to do and we're going to take care of it. And I don't think, honestly, as many people that walk away and have like this mom guilt or this dad guilt, I am not quite sure if I ever felt the word guilty for leaving. I felt like I only felt that when it was like NICU days and stuff. But when they were old enough and we finally left them for like a one overnight, I had like full trust in like.
I mean, we wouldn't leave them with anyone that we didn't trust.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I mean, they were like family people, you know. I had full trust and capability that these people were capable.
Yeah.
And I never had a doubt that they would,
I think,
not follow the routine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one of the big, pieces of advice that we got early on, especially like being in the position we were in, parents of high order multiples, that's like one strike against you. Also, being on reality TV, that's another strike against you. And just like the high stress of just like the household. Like you have these cards stacked against you of, and people telling you like, look, like, especially like from the outside, people that don't really know us very well. And, they're like, this marriage is going to fail. Like,
oh yeah.
And so you get like really great advice from people that have either been in our shoes somewhat. It's hard to really be in our shoes to the extent, but to just make that time for ourselves. And, I mean, we would catch flack from other parents, obviously, that weren't in our situation. They're like, man, y'all always go and, you're always going off and doing something, or you're getting away from your kids so much and stuff. But like, you really don't understand the magnitude of like the situation that we were in. And, we had to 100% make this a priority, make our marriage a priority, because if we weren't okay, our family wasn't going to be okay. Our kids weren't going to be okay. And, it's like security to your kids. Whenever your kids know that you're good, you're okay, mom and dad love each other, they're affectionate towards each other in front of them and everything like that, then, they feel secure. And so, we always saw it as like, we're working on this to have a better home and to show security to our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always hated the fact that a lot of people, even people close to us, would always see that as such a selfish thing that, oh, you're leaving your kids to go on a trip or this. I mean, even people very close to us would give us a lot of flack for, how dare you leave your 6 kids for you and Adam to go somewhere? And it's like, listen, exactly what Adam said. If we're not good, the household's going to suffer. So this needs to work first. This needs to always be well, or the household's going to suffer. And we have constant people around us, which has always been a blessing that God has put around us, that has constantly holding us accountable and building us up and saying, hey, we want y'all to go out on a date night. Hey, we want to come watch the kids. Hey, such and I want to come over and let us know what weekend we can come, and we want to sit with the kids so that y'all can go on a night away. Y'all go stay in the city tonight. Y'all go and what a blessing that is. And
as a parent,
as hard as it is to just be like, yes, they would say the answer is not no, it's yes, and you're going to go do it, because that is what is needed. And not that, like, to have people tell you that, that's so healthy for your marriage. Because guess what? Being parents of 6 kids is hard, is a lot, especially in the new ages, especially under the age of 2, quintuplets. it was hard. It was very, very hard. I don't think we ever felt, I'll speak for myself, I never felt guilty for leaving them. I felt very thankful and very blessed that we had people that had that was bringing them such joy so that they could stay with them. It was like, we would love more than anything to stay with them one night so that you and Adam could go stay away. And like, we can stay with them, that it would bless us to stay and spend the night with them. We're going to do a movie and popcorn or like whatever with Blake and blah, 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 blah. That way y'all can go do something special for y'all. So that's just, I don't know. I never felt like bad for going out away from them, you know?
Yeah.
I always saw it as like a positive going forward. So I think as, you know, we speed up and as the kids are getting older, you know, they're 10 now, and over the years, they've been very used to over the years where Adam and I have gone to places ourselves, and they've never really have asked many questions, or they've always had, you know, fun with whoever's going to stay with them. And it's never really bothered them that we are away. They're always like, ooh, who's going to stay with us?
Yeah.
And they enjoy it. They enjoy the funness of who do they get to hang out with, or what's the, you know, is it going to be Miss Darby? Is it going to be Deb? Is it going to be Nan and Papa? Or like, do we get to go stay with Aunt Leela and Kiki? And sometimes we divide and conquer them with like my sisters, or like, it's fun to them for that. And so they enjoy it. You know, it's a bit of a change for them, and it's fun to them. I think as they're hitting this preteen age and they're starting to experience like emotions and like, you know, different things of emotions, they're starting to like question like, well, when are you leaving? When are you coming back? How long are you going to be gone? What time? Are you going to be gone before I leave, or after school, or before school? Like, some of them are starting to get a little bit more like wanting to be particular about things, which I think is cute and funny. But so we kind of are like experience a little bit of difference with that, but they're still like could care less that we're kind of like here or there, because every day is still filled with like funness to them of whoever's here. And I think a lot of times too, I still try to like, especially when we go away, we have this rule too, where I'll throw it in here. Like, we get this asked a lot too, when we're on trips. Do you buy your kids gifts when you go on trips? Like, do you come home with a gift for your kids on trips? No. And what's our rule? Our rule is, when we go on trips as parents with no kids, we don't come home with trips. We don't come home with gifts for our kids if our kids are not with us. We would have an overload of junk and or t-shirts or whatever every time we went somewhere. So no, or we don't come home with souvenirs every time Adam and I go somewhere just to bring home to the kids. Our rule is, if any of our kids are with us, or if we're all somewhere, they get a souvenir wherever we go.
Yeah.
So if they're not with us, we don't come home with souvenirs for them. If they're with us, they get something. That saves on a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like if I'm going on like work trips or something like that, it's like a chore just to go out and try to like find. And
it's like, we don't want to get airplane crap. I mean,
some little travel like knickknack just to bring home, just so, you know, I never wanted my kid. I always wanted my kids to be like, oh, daddy's home. Like, you know, hey, dad, not daddy's home. What'd you bring me? Yeah. You know? And so like, we never started that habit of like training them like, oh, whenever we come through the door, it's like, what did you bring me? Yeah. And, you know, that just like that consumerist like mindset in your kids of like, oh, you're going somewhere. Awesome. I get something. Yeah. And we never like that, but we do love allowing them to pick. We always say you get one thing on the trip to take home. And so we always tell them like, hey, if we're gone 5 days, you just be always a stuffed animal.
It's always a stuffed animal. And so still, you get 5 days. If we're on a trip for 5 days, if you get something the first day, like you got 4 more days to think about. Like, You get something on day one, you ain't getting something the rest of the days, But we love, was kind of one of the other questions, like, what's it like when you come home from a trip? And that's part of it. Like, we like coming home to not wanting to come home to our kids being like, oh, what'd you get me? It's like, no, we want to come home to the kids wanting to see us and us wanting to see them and talk about, like, what did you do while I was gone? What did you do? What did you see? How was school? And have conversation, not about what did you get me? So just a little insight for you all listening there. Whenever we are gone as a couple, a lot's changed from toddler years until, 5th grade and high school years. As far as when we leave, we definitely still make a schedule. I still make a schedule. I think last time we left somewhere, Nana and Papa were here with them, and they love
Danielle's detailed schedules down to the minute.
I think that they love my schedule the most. They're like, where's the schedule? But I do. I mean, it's pretty much, if you follow it, or you shouldn't have a question with what do you need to do today if you just look at the schedule. And I want to make it's 6 kids. I want to make this as easy as possible for anyone.
Well, for one thing, I mean, especially like if we're out and it's like either a work trip or, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter either or, but whenever we're out traveling, sometimes we're not accessible on our phones too.
Right away, yeah.
And so, you don't want to have to worry about, oh shoot, they were trying to get in touch with me because they needed to know this one detail about where to go or what to have for this day or whatever. And so that's like one of the main reasons why Danielle would be so detail oriented with like the list that she would like tape to the pantry. But
the old house, I had like my roll down thing that I missed,
just
my
like,
big board.
if you have any questions, just like reference the list so that you don't have to, constantly be calling or asking questions. It's usually always all there.
And I will say, since we're in the new city, the first time that they came and watched them over here, and it was like new school location, all the things, like they came over the night before and like they were like, okay, let's go pick up the kids together. So they rode with us and we're like, okay, this is where you go. This is where you go with this one. So that kind of was like an extra bonus, but literally it's like addresses, this is what time we get them up in the morning. This is all you have to do. It's like lunch, water bottle. This is what time I set an alarm on my phone. This is what time we get in the van and leave for school. It's what time YOLO timed in the middle of the day for Nana and Papa, like do whatever you want. And then what time you pick them up from school. And then it's like everything you need after school, who goes where, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it's very detailed. And usually when we're out of town, not now, but I usually recommend, or I already have like, hey, these are the things that it can either be cooked, that I have meals ready, or I already have stuff cooked, or pulled out like in the refrigerator, like, oh, hey, here's stuff for spaghetti, here's stuff for burgers, or like whatever. Or money, or we leave money for like go out to eat.
Like one of the things that we do is like whenever we're like planning on the trip, hopefully, like ideally, and we try our best to like schedule any trips like in the middle of the week, especially if it's like during while the kids are in school and stuff like that. So then like, maybe your mornings are a little hectic just because you got to wake up, get them fed, dressed, make sure they're all dressed and stuff, and get out the door, get to school. But then you have like an 8-hour break in the middle of the day where you don't have to do anything, or you can kind of either prep for the evening or, just go around town or do whatever you want. And the kids are at school. And so it's really just like morning, get them to school, and then you have like an 8-hour break to just chill before, they get home from school. Yeah.
So we found that,
and we try our best to make everything during the week, but every now and then there's something that pops up that we
depending on who is coming and watching them. And if it's a short trip and it's on the weekend, we're more than likely hoping to get someone that wants to run around with them and go bring them to play places and like stuff like that. But, it all depends on the schedule and what we're having to go do. But, I think when it comes to, traveling separate is where it gets to the fun stuff, like where Adam goes on a trip and then I go on a trip. So let's talk about that. So let's talk about when Danielle leaves to go on a trip. So I go on a trip and Adam's in charge.
Okay.
What really happens at the house? So we have a schedule, we have bedtimes, like all the things. Like what happens? We have rules. Like I'll just go quickly over what our daily rules are. Pick up your plates after you're done eating, put your dirty clothes in the basket, make your bed, brush your teeth, hang your towels up or put them up in the dirty basket, shoes up, backpacks up when you get home from school, homework, and whoever's day it is to feed the dogs, bedtime, all the things.
Which right now it's like a lot easier because the girls are so much more like self-sufficient, and like you can literally just tell them, okay, do this, and like
it's not really that easy. You have to repeat yourself quite a bit.
You do have to repeat yourself, but it's not necessarily like wrangling babies, and having to do like every little thing for them, and and like hover and like make sure like and you're just like hurting.
So give us a glimpse of like maybe 8 years ago to like today, like last week.
I mean, 8 years ago today, typically whenever Danielle would have to go out of town, she would like set somebody up like during the day to come in and like assist. Because at the same time, I'm still working too. And so you kind of need, like, it's hard to do it all, especially whenever I'm having to be at work or whatever. And so she'd have somebody come in to like help it either in the evening, just kind of evening routine, and then they would leave.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But, like now, it's a lot different. Like our kids are really good about like waking up in the morning. They set their clothes out the night before.
But what did I used to do for you? Go back, way back.
What, like lay out their clothes for the week?
Even before that.
What?
Remember when I was like, here's Monday through Friday clothes, every one of them.
Yeah, lay out the clothes for the week.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you were just saying like the next day.
No,
I used to be like, hey, Adam's biggest stress was if you can just make sure that their clothes are set for the week or however many days you're going, I just need you to make sure their clothes are done.
That was like always my biggest ask was before you leave, I do not want to freaking think about like all their freaking outfits for the entire week. Like, okay, if you're going to leave, like organize and like lay out their clothes for the week. Either pile them up and like, okay, this is Ava pile, Olivia pile, or whatever.
I was like, babe, they all match. When they were little, they all match. Just get one outfit and get all 5 of them.
Whenever they weren't able to like pick out their own outfit for the day, which they are now, obviously, but that was like the biggest stress point for me. It was like worrying about like, okay, going and digging through all their freaking closets, finding like everything that goes together or whatever.
That's kind of like what we were talking about this morning when you're like, oh, and my plan changes up and then I get all like flustered and whatever. I can see you in the morning. That's the one thing that makes me the most flustered. You're like, what do I do?
Combing through multiple closets, trying to find clothes and matching everything up for a bunch of little girls. That was like my biggest stress point.
Yeah, I used to do all the clothes. I used to like
dinner time, breakfast, all the meals. Food. Like that didn't bother me. It was like
no, but clothes. I used to do all that. I used to make all the pre-meals. I would put Monday. I used to label all those until that day on out daughtered. Remember that? Remember when you were making fun of me and you said I don't ever do nothing at the house? When I was doing laundry and you're like, you don't ever do laundry. And I was like, oh. And I didn't. From that point on, that was real, guys. That was real. I straight up left and I was like, I'm not setting up anything anymore. You remember that? And you're like, I was joking.
It was a joke.
It was a joke, but I took it to heart and I was like, I'm leaving when I went to Dallas.
I said that just for the sake of
the scene.
Getting under your skin in front of cameras.
Well, you screwed yourself. That was fun. That was great for me. So what happens like when they're home? Do y'all follow the schedule? Do you like follow the rules, or do you like not follow the rules and like you're like, oh crap, today mom comes home, she's gonna be home in an hour?
No, I mean, we follow the schedule.
For real?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, for the most part, we do. Especially the nighttime routine, just because, like,
I don't feel like you follow the rules even when I'm home.
I want to get to bed. So, like, the quicker y'all get to bed, the quicker, because whenever the Quints are in bed, I'm making a beeline to my bed. And so I'm like, shoot, y'all are going to bed at the same time. Like, just because mom's not here doesn't mean y'all get to stay up. And so, like, especially in the evening times, like after dinner, and whether we go out to eat or we eat at home, typically, like, whenever Danielle's gone, we do eat out more, just because, like, okay, that's just one more thing. I don't want to, like, I want to keep the house as clean as possible, and, like, I don't want to have to keep going back around.
Tell that story. How did that become?
What?
Tell the story about
why
you started to do that.
Just so the house is clean when you get home.
Yeah, because why? Because I'd come home and what? I'm like, the last thing I want to do when I come home is come home to a messy house.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So every night we would just go out to dinner.
I'll never forget. And people are probably thinking, man, you expect a lot. You expect him to stay home, watch all your 6 kids, and keep a clean house.
And have the house spotless.
Like, hold up. Let me back that up, because when I leave, I set him up with like a helper, a nanny to help with nighttime, help with all these things. And which means like she's probably helping clean up dishes, like all this stuff. But like when I come home, it'd still be a messy house or whatever. And I would just say, like, I just don't want to walk through the door and dish it. Like, it'd be a messy house. And so it was like my one ask. Like, I don't care if it's messy everywhere. I just don't want it to be dirty, like right when I walk in the door to like the bedroom, you know? And so I'll never forget, like, that next time I came home and I was like, wow, it's clean. And so he was like, I did it. And then it was like, man, y'all do go out to eat every night?
Crack the code.
It's like, hey, I kept the house clean. Man, we spent way too much money this week, but I kept the house clean. Yeah. He's like, I pick him up from school. We go to the park. We go to dinner. We come home, take a bath, and go to bed.
Yeah. As soon as I pick him up from school, we
never went home.
Straight to the park. We wouldn't even play in the playroom.
Yeah.
You're not even pulling out toys. We're going straight to the park, going straight to dinner, coming home, jump in the bathtub, and you're going to bed. Yeah. Every night. We never touched the kitchen.
So what do you find is the hardest, or is something hard or easier when I'm gone? Like when it's just you?
I mean, I think the hardest thing is just managing work and juggling the parenting stuff while you're gone. Because at least like whenever you're home, like I know I can at least like kind of lock myself in my office and try to get some specific stuff done. And whenever you're not here, I know I can't do that. And that's what's like the hardest. That's usually what like makes me like flustered, because it like gets me out of my work routine. Like the parenting stuff and like especially nowadays, like where the kids are, like just managing them and stuff like that is, I mean, I don't see that as very hard at all. I mean, we lived life with, you know, quintuplet toddlers. I mean, so now that they're 10 years old and they're like completely, for the most part, completely self-sufficient and you can just manage them. It's fairly easy, you know, except for like juggling, like, you know, Friday evenings whenever you're, you know, taking
sports
one to tennis, one to volleyball, and then they're asking, oh, can I go out, like spend the night with such and such and go do this? And so you're like managing, like getting this to this parent and these to this parent, drop Riley off, come back home, get Hazel squared away because Hazel's friend calls while we're on the way and her friend wants to go like have a sleepover or something, like hurrying up, going back home, getting Hazel squared away, getting her clothes, bringing her back with me, going and meeting another parent. And so, you know, it's just like one thing after another, after another, after another.
And you stress out with chaos and I'm like thrive in chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like disruption in my routine. It annoys me.
Yeah. So whenever Adam's gone, whenever Adam's gone, to me, it's just such a different pace in the house. I feel like, everybody wants to be both. I mean, in the perfect world, we're both always here, but there's obviously a lot of times where, especially like in race season, like where he's gone literally all the time.
Like 3 weeks out of a month.
And that's hard. But if he's gone for just like a short trip or like 2 days or whatever, like next week or something, you're going or out of town or something.
Yeah, I'm going for like
2 or 3 days or something. But
it's really like 2 days, but it's like 2 half days and a whole day.
Sometimes I get in the mode where it's almost like teaching someone a new task. It's almost easier to do it yourself than to teach someone. So when it's just me in charge, I sometimes can just handle things better myself than expecting Adam sometimes to be doing it with me. So when he's gone for like a day or two, I'm like, okay, it's just me. And I'm not like expecting him to be helping with this or helping with that or helping with that. I just get it done. And it's got done quick, you know? And you probably do the same.
I kind of feel the same way.
And so, but I don't like that for an extended period of time.
There's not that expectation. Are they going to help with this or are they going to help with that? It's just like, oh, they're not here. So like,
you just do it.
Just expect it. Okay, I got to do this.
Yeah.
And it's already like in your mind at the beginning of the day, I got to do this later, and not like, oh, I don't know if he's going to be busy doing something or get called into a meeting at work, and it's like up in the air, and then like, oh, now I have to do it like right now. It's just like it's already thought out.
Yeah. So, but I don't like that for an extended period of time because, I mean, I don't want to live that way, and I don't want to be a solo parent at any means.
Yeah.
So, but in those short instances, it's sometimes easier that way in a short way, just because expectations. But you know, I think that everything's harder if you're doing it as a one-man team, because we are a team. Divide and conquer, obviously, all the things when it comes to with 6 kids with one parent, that's really hard, juggling all those things. But
I don't know. I think there's so much more in this topic on like going like a single, like whenever one of us leaves and whatever, we may end up needing to cover that on a whole nother podcast. I don't know, just because it's in the outline of like stuff that we have. Like I think there's just a lot more there. Whenever you have like one parent that like works or has to take work trips and stuff like that, and like what it's like. And
another rule that we've kind of set in our place is that it's a lot of times we're very overwhelmed, and in something so small, like I'm going to go to the grocery store. I pick the kids up from school. I dropped off at home. Adam's at home. I'm going to go to the grocery store, and within, 15 minutes of me being gone, everybody's calling me like 20 times asking if such and such can come over to play. And Adam's on a work call. They're calling me, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to grab some milk. I'll be home in 15 minutes. But it's like all these things, right? So we kind of made a rule, when we are both gone, we will check in once a day. And unless there is something urgently needed, then don't call us.
yeah.
Obviously, by whoever is watching the kids. We will check in once a day, but if there's something that is urgently needed, you call us, but otherwise we will check in. And that allows us to mentally kind of break away and focus on us. I think a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's very hard for us to break away from the mental load of parenting 6 kids and then the work stress level. So it's very hard when you work together and parent together to really just have fun and just be Adam and Danielle together.
Yeah. It's hard to disconnect whenever you keep getting pulled back in.
Yeah.
For
So
like little random things that aren't really necessary.
So how can we go out and have
the kids
fun?
the kids will just call you for the most random thing.
Yeah. So how can we go out and have fun if we're constantly just being pulled back into what we're trying to have a vacation from, right? So that's one rule that we've kind of set in place years ago, and it works for us. Do we still get like text or whatever? We do, and we will occasionally like respond, but we really do try as best we can. And sometimes we have to respond and say, "Hey, mommy and daddy are having their date trip. We will give y'all a call later tonight," you know. And so we try to teach our kids to like, this is very important for us. This is mommy and daddy's time away. Just like we go on dates, this is our date trip. So we will call y'all tonight.
But also whoever we're putting them in care of,
right,
is capable of making those like decisions for like random questions.
Right. But they too, they just get used to just nagging in a sense. And when you've got quintuplets, one of them might be downstairs and one of them's upstairs, and they don't know that one of them asked, and so they're just saying it again and they didn't know, you know. So it's just repetitive. And so that's another reason why it's like we can't constantly be getting asked the same question multiple times a day, you know. So maybe that could be an advice that works for you. Maybe you only have 1 or 2 kids and that's not something you ever get, you know, approached with, but something that does work for us. So just setting those boundaries on what could work for you and your spouse to be able to really break away. And whether it's a dinner date, how do you break away from work, home life, and really just focus on like you two. So something that y'all should discuss, talk about, and just really kind of make a little checklist of like, these are the things that would work for us and we should try to start doing to really ground yourselves back into your marriage. So it all started out with a little bit of talking about traveling and stuff, but I feel like we gave a couple little pointers on what we do when we're traveling, but what we also do to kind of like for a marriage, and whether we're traveling together or separate, but what we do for just keeping our lives together going.
Life sane.
Yeah, sanity. Anyway.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 58.
Yeah.
More Than Reality podcast.
Peace out.
And we'll see you in 59. All right, we love you guys.